Kia ora, Aquarius. This is your full moon in Aries, which is literally 2 days away now. This is your reading for this full moon time. So let's see what the cards have today. We get one jumping out there. You know, these readings are very general. The collective readings up there, that's very general, and all the astro readings are. So if it resonates, that's great. If it doesn't, just leave it, you know. And I do appreciate any likes, shares and subscribes, because it really helps the videos to be seen by more people. So anyway, Aquarius, let's see, we're just waiting for a few more cards to come out. We'll just get one more. Let's have a look. They're all face down now. Oh yes, now we do always go through and clarify. So, and also one other thing, I have been having a few issues with the sound, so you may well have to wear your, if you're listening to it, just for a bit of volume. I'm not quite sure. I'm working away on that. So you come out, Aquarius, with the Knight. The Knight of Cups. You know, it's fast moving. It's a fast moving night, that's for sure. And of course it is in the realms of the emotions here, being a cup. It might be someone that you know offering a little bit extra than usual, whatever that might mean. I don't think it's put you on a wobble or put you off anything, but I think you may be experiencing a time at the moment where you're really wanting to go quite inward for a while. You just want to keep things on the down low for a while. We have the Hermit. We're just kind of really thinking and looking inward and looking at certain things. I think, you know, in some ways at the moment, I think there's possibly, I mean, a lot of people are, you know, feeling the tension of the times and a sort of build-up, which feels like, to, you know, this build-up that's increasing, I think, as we get closer to the end of the year. So Aquarius, it's like, you know, the Hermit's the hero's journey. We go inwards, we shine the light, we look at a few things, and there's a time when we come out of that. And sometimes we need to go into that before we're going or venturing into new projects, ventures, you know, relationships, travel. And often we go into it after certain experiences as well. So interesting. Then we have the Queen of Swords straight down the line. I think it probably clarifies a few things, obviously, for you. And then we have the Eight of Swords. Did I say Queen of Swords? Yeah. So we had the Queen of Swords, clear-cut crystal clarity here. You know, the 4 C's, isn't it? The 4 C's. 8 of Swords. Look, we aren't really bound here by anything apart from our own ideas of possible self-limitation. You might feel a little bit restricted, but it is, remember, often a case, I know it's easy to say, but a case of perspective often more than actual, you know, like we can move it a bit, we can work with that. Aquarius, so, excuse me, let's look at the Knight of Cups to begin with, and we don't look at these cards individually as such. It is a storyline, and so they're all working together here. you know, in this hermit sort of zone, it may well be that you're actually finding, if it's not an offering, which it could be from someone, this Knight of Cups, you might be finding you've got more emotional stamina, maybe more, or you are realizing how much you do have, in fact. So let's look at the Knight of Cups. We'll see if something will jump for us. Yes, it did. The Knight of Cups. Yeah, emotional stamina. Possibly in relation to, you know, memories, family. I say this, we get the 10 of Discs, family, in terms of how you manage your life, how you manage your world, how you manage your finances, all of that. There's a lot of emotional insights and actually practical insights that are coming through to you at this time. It's really wild out there. It did snow a little bit, which is last night, which is unusual for this place, you know. So it's quite cold. Anyway, Knight of Cups. So we have the 10 of Discs. It can be generational inheritance. I mean that in the sense of, you know, those things that get carried on down the generational lines and families. And there is actually, you know, hallelujah at last, though I think a lot of people like Rupert Sheldrake talk about that sort of elements of that morphic resonance and all of that, the connections, but that epigenetic concept whereby they have actually just recently, I think something I read earlier today coming out of California, that in fact we do inherit aspects of experience from prior generations. Often I think the emphasis was on the grandparent experiences, you know, which is sort of a genetic pass on. So it's all very interesting, Aquarius. So anyway, so we're clarifying that Knight of Cups. It's taking me ages to get around to it in some ways, but you know, the 10 of Discs in clarification is a wonderful card. It is wealth of family, friends. It's that tangible wealth that we have around us. We see it, we're in it. You know, it's a great support often. It's a great comfort often at its best. Let's look at the Hermit. Aquarius. The Hermit, you know, the Knight of Cups. You know, we're not going round in circles here, but it does often happen. So the Hermit and the Knight of Cups are somehow intertwined here. It's the way, I mean, I've got this Shania Twain song in my head. It's the way that you offer your emotional gifts, your emotional wealth. It's the way that you do that you're discovering new ways of doing it. You're discovering new aspects of that. I do feel here in this reading. So that Knight of Cups comes out again to clarify the Hermit. Can we just actually have one more card to clarify that Hermit? We actually have, there's far too many there. Just one more, okay, card. Balance. We've got Justice. It is called adjustment in the thoth deck. It's simply we're balancing things here, equilibrium. We want to kind of, you know, there might be something coming up, Aquarius, that you really want to feel like really sort of earthed out, centered and balanced for. And so this possibly is a focus right now, or a general need for these current times as well, because it is. Queen of Swords. So there's a lot of this heavily is really a lot of internal stuff going on for you, and it's driven by you. It's not that you've had these sort of things coming at you where you've been forced to. It is driven by you. It is your choice. Queen of Swords here for Aquarius, please. What? Flew out like a feather. Queen of Swords. I mean, very clear in mind and action. We have the Four of Wands. Now, this is about the place, home. It's about where you belong. In the Thoth deck, it is a wheel. And sometimes I feel, you know, and there's that fieriness within the center of the wheel that keeps it generating, it keeps it fresh, it keeps it, you know, that vitality, our own personal vitality. So the place in which we belong, there's a completion of sorts. When I say completion, this card is called completion. When I say that, it's not like the end of the line. It's a completion within yourself, your goals, aims, objectives, desires that have come to completion here, which in itself will bring you growth. The wheel always turns, you know. So it's a beautiful card, and in some decks you'll see the double 11. It's the happy home, the homecoming, in fact, a homecoming. Let's look at the Eight of Swords. Is there any restriction here? Or like just, it's your perception of that. A restriction. We'll get one more. Limitation. I mean, the Eight of Swords is about self-limitation, but often it is just changing the energy up, turning it around. Really fiery feminine qualities here. I say feminine qualities. I'm not talking about gender. So to clarify this 8, where we're sort of feeling maybe a bit bound up by something at the moment. It's maybe why we're getting into this balance mode, Aquarius. We've got the Ace of Cups, a gift. It is a divine gift, and you shape it, you give it form, and you get it out there, you know. You let it out there, unleash it. There's no need for feeling bound when you have an Ace of Cups, because it will flow through you and out. You know, it's a real blast of pretty expansive, good feelings, you know, feel good stuff. With that, the Queen of Wands, even more powerful. As I said, there's something about noticing, which I don't always, as the flames within this wheel, within this completion of a place of belonging. The Queen of Wands is incredibly fiery. Look, all the hurdles that have been overcome, all the triumphs, all the hurdles that have been overcome with the Queen sit within her familiar, within this leopard, to remind her of that. You've come a long, long way. You know what I mean? And there's just a fiery nature to this expression here. There's a very impassioned nature to it. I'm just going to go through. We'll get a Brian Froud. I want to get a Brian Froud for the Knight of Cups. And so we do. We get the honesty card. This is about the, you know, that supercharged frequency of the heart. It's about being honest from the heart, being honest in an emotional sense. Now we need to sort of course, we're looking at the Knight of Cups and the Hermit. Of course, we need to have done some introspection upon ourselves, you know, in order to be able to do this fully. And so it's a beautiful card, honesty. Actually, you know, in this, I see it as, you know, you're offering yourself that. But because of that, it comes through and to others. So honesty is a beautiful card. It's vibration, you know, it's a vibrating kind of, you know, that heart, glorious sort of, I mean, it really is a sort of series of circuits, electric circuits, isn't it, that are just kind of firing like a generator. It's pretty powerful stuff. And let's look at this this Four of Wands for you, Aquarius. Four of Wands for Aquarius, please. I mean, the reading generally, it speaks of having, you know, I do think there's some event is coming up, or some event has passed, and it's kind of encouraged you to really sort of have some time and an introspective time. And I know Aquarians are really quite focused on the group, you know, on sociability, that collective thing. But you're actually just taking a bit of time here for yourself. And it's going to, not that everything has to pay off, but it's going to pay off is what I'm getting. So we've got 3 cards coming out for the Four of Wands, the happy home. And deciding that, you know, you Aquarius, you've got good people around you. You can allow yourself to stay in one place for a while. Faith the Footer, on and off energy, indeed, on, off. Never totally, fully, both feet on the ground. So there's a sort of, not an indecision, but this figure is sort of, you know, always multitasking, always moving, literally, like on, off, on, off. But with that, we have what is quite the other end of this is the Friends card, where we are fully supported here. Taking flight, almost, Aquarius. Taking flight, we're well supported. You know, in terms of physics and gravity, we're not really relying on the earth. We've surpassed that, you know, our movement being dominated by gravity, Aquarius. So it's kind of interesting. But it is a wonderful card of friendship. Then we have the Singer of Healing, which is what it says it is. It's a healing process. You know, the fibers of the soul and the self start to come into a very fine and consistent mesh. Great stuff. It's kind of a nice image, isn't it? The silvery mesh. Okay, let's get a a rock, mineral and crystal for you, Aquarius. We've got amazing red jasper. Let's see what red jasper is all about. Nurture, determination, relaxing and tranquility. And I think you've been offering that to yourself at this current time, building up to whatever event is coming or whatever event has passed, or just generally at this full moon in Aries time. So on that note, Aquarius, I hope you enjoyed this video, and do check out especially your ascendant and moon, if you know what they're in, because all the readings will be up by the end of today anyway. And do check out the collective. Okay, on that note, take good care, and we'll see you next time, Aquarius. Ka kite now, bye.